Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise, and this reading is for Sunday, November 22nd, 2020. But as always, my intention is to get messages for healing our souls so that they are timeless. So you can watch any of the videos to get those messages. Okay, so let's see. I'm drawn to these three cards. Okay, interesting. They're all straight up today. And I definitely shuffle 4 reversals, so this is just a more straightforward message, I suppose. Or just a different message. So the theme with the 8 of Wands here in the middle, we have a lot of energy and a lot of information coming through. Now, some of it is not going to be trustworthy. With the 8 of Wands, it's you know, the 8s are very, very powerful. You just imagine the number 8, and no matter what direction, even if it's at the infinity symbol, sideways, it's called the lemniscate in tarot land. I don't know where the name came from. That's something to research. But anyway, back to just the movement of the 8. It's continuous, and it goes, back and forth, and it brings in more information, and it's all about empowerment and strength. So with the 8 of Wands, it's the strength and power of the spirit. It's the strength and power of whatever we're the most drawn to, and what we are the most passionate about. And as we're moving towards, whatever we're drawn to and what we're, passionate about, what happens is that we run across either people or, someone with the spoken word or the written word, or just misunderstandings. It doesn't have to be that they're actually lying. It can just be that they have a mistaken notion, and so you're not going to get the truth from that source about that particular thing. It doesn't mean that they're mistaken or lying or misunderstanding everything, but whatever that one thing is that you're researching, it's possible that you won't get all the truth that you want with just one source, and that now the 7s bring in decisions and tests, and what we have to do is look at a lot of different sources and see if they're all saying the same thing, and also to look at the credibility of the source of information. And all of this is the reason I'm speaking, to that is because here with the Ace of Pentacles, that's how we get seeds that have been planted that will actually open. So when you're trying to manifest something in your life, no matter what it is, first, of course, we have to plant the seed. We have to get we have the consciousness that receives the seed, or we have the soil that receives the seed. But then there are many steps beyond that to get to the powerful place where it actually blooms. And of course, that is, nurturing it, paying attention to it, taking care of it, pulling out the weeds, watering it, making sure it gets enough sunlight, enough air. But most of all, you can't just stick it in the ground and think it's going to bloom without you doing anything about it. Although in nature it can, if it's planted in the right soil and the right time of year and it gets enough rain on its own, you maybe wouldn't even have to water it. I mean, there is that possibility. But when it comes to our work and our relationships and filtering out a lot of information that's coming our way, we have to be really careful about what we allow into the soil of our soul substance, into the into the impression into our brains. The Pentacles are all about anything physical, and of course it's body, soul substance, earthly realm, resources, money, any and all of everything that is on the earth. So it's really important that we don't let impressions come into our consciousness that are not going to bring us something good. You know, they're not going to bear the fruit that we want. We want to make sure that we only allow positive thoughts in. So negative thought forms, lies, half-truths, misconceptions, all of those things need to just, you know, go by the wayside. They need to be let go of. They need to you have to be really careful because there's so much out there. Now, sometimes with this card, it can be that it could be us that made a mistake. Like, what if we bought into a lie? Well, at some point we figure out that it's a lie, and then we may have to go back and either make amends if we like if we passed on the misinformation to someone else, and we might have to go back and say, hey, I made a mistake about that, and here's what I've learned now. That's definitely, you know, the case with the Five of Swords. Traditionally, with the Rider-Waite, has a guy with 5 swords in his, in his arms, and 2 are left behind because he couldn't carry them all, or he decided to, I don't know, maybe it was part of his being kind of stealthy and thought, if I leave a couple here, they won't think that they're all gone, or they won't know that any were missing. Yeah, I don't know, but the way I see that, when those 2 swords, and here we have 2 birds, these could be like 5, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess there's 5 here. Maybe would be the 5, and these 2 would be the 2 that could have been like left behind. So you may have to go back and clear up a couple of things that were left behind in the past. That's the way that I read that card. But it's definitely, you have to be really careful. Like I said, it can be about like somebody who's been risky in the past and who was either outright lying or betrayal. Sometimes it's betrayal. At the least, it's manipulation. But when the 8 of Wands comes through, the energy comes, and this, you know, clears it all out, and it brings you into the right direction. So let's talk a little bit more about the 8 of Wands. It can represent air travel, and you know, it's like a lot of movement, quick movement through the air. So of course, just remember that's part of the reason why it can be about air travel. It's definitely about, like I said before, information. It can be very exciting because the energy moves quickly, and it can be all these like ideas that come into your head. You know, because of the air quality, but ideas that spark some type of passion is the thing. And it can come in, like I said before, really, really quickly. Really quickly. In a love relationship, it can be a bit of an infatuation sometimes, just because of the passion. But again, when it's coupled with the 7 of Swords, be very, very careful. Be very careful that you don't get pregnant by someone like this, because they're not going to be there with you later on, probably. Be very careful that you don't mix your money with someone like this. You know, if you get these cards about, if you happen to draw these 3 cards about someone that you're thinking about having a relationship with, or that you're really passionate about and interested in, and you get the 7 of Swords, you have to be very, very careful. But yeah, so, and then to dive more into the Ace of Pentacles, this can often be a new job. It's something new. It can be, if you already have a job, it can be more money. It can be a promotion or a raise. It's all about manifesting some new beginning. So there's passion about some new beginning, but be careful that it's based in truth rather than misconceptions or misunderstandings or outright lies. It could be like somebody says, let's do this and I'll get the money, but then be careful, because they probably won't, and maybe you'll try to get the money and then they want to be partners and they're not trustworthy. They could be, you know, all these different possibilities. When the 7 of Swords comes in, we have to be very, very, very careful. But yeah, but I mean, when we're dealing with the Ace of Pentacles, it hasn't been, the seed's in the ground, but it hasn't grown yet. There's still so many stages, but the potentiality for all the stages is there. It's there in the seed. And it's also a reminder, when I see this card, it reminds me of the pure potentiality that is within the nucleus of every cell in our bodies. That we have that. We have that yet full level of wholeness and consciousness within every cell of our body. Like the universe is inside every cell of our body in the nucleus. Like that just blows me away knowing that. And if you don't believe that, that's okay. But if you're inclined to question it or you want to do some research on it, you'll find it. Just Google and research quantum physics and the human body, and you will be blown away. There are too many, scientists to name, so I'm not gonna go there. But just see what you find. There are lots of books. I love Bruce Lipton, and there's another guy by the last name of Green. He's good, but other than going beyond those two guys, I think it can get confusing. Is it Brian Greene? Maybe, I forget. But yeah, it's a wonderful topic to research. So let's use, well, let me see if I have enough room here. I want to use this spirit animal deck quickly. See if we can get a little more information about this. Oh, wow. Trust the great mystery, whale spirit. Wow, that's gorgeous. Okay, so if we bring it together with these three cards, let's see if they'll fit. Well, close enough. If I just do them this way. Okay, so to combine the meaning of the great mystery with manifesting, that's what's so beautiful about it. It's like, you might have planted a bunch of flowers, but you don't know exactly how they're going to unfold, right? That's what's beautiful about it, because in the mystery it's just so much pleasure to discover, something new and to watch something unfold. And it's just like that cliche about, like, if we knew everything that was going to happen, we'd be really bored. There's a lot of truth in that. So sometimes we won't know what the lie is, or the misconception, or the misunderstanding, but we'll feel it intuitively. We'll feel it in our bodies, or something won't set right with us. Trust those instincts. Often we don't need to know why. We just need to know what the message is. And if you get the message that somebody isn't trustworthy, then go the other direction. And just let that, let it be a mystery. It's okay. You don't need to know. Because to know every detail about what's wrong will take you out of that creative process that is so beautiful right here. Focus on what you want. Keep planting seeds into the universe as to what you want, the details of what you want even. But then again, let the universal life force, let the cosmic intelligence, let it surprise you. Whatever you call it, if it's God, Gaia, Christ consciousness, Great Spirit, Allah, whatever you relate to as being source energy, let that consciousness, that greater consciousness, be your default when you're manifesting. So you decide what you want, you work towards it, you do everything you can to bring it in, you nurture it, daily, and after that, just let it go. Let it go. Let the mystery unfold for you. And it'll be bigger and better than you could have imagined. At least for me and my pea brain. You guys may have better imaginations than I do, but when I trust things and just let it go, I'm always surprised that it was bigger and better than I thought. But you have to follow those impulses, the spontaneous real self that is coming through you. You have to follow that, and then just keep planting those seeds daily. Or keep nurturing that one seed that you planted, but you can plant more than one. So, okay, well, that's it. I feel complete, and thank you guys for listening, and I'll be back soon for Mondays. Okay, take good care. Bye.